Well, ladies and gentlemen, today's video, it's sad. So for those of you who have not already heard the news, it was released earlier in October that this weekend's World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series show at the Devils Bowl Speedway in Mesquite, Texas was going to be the final race in the track's existence. Now, all of this was released to the public after the racetrack was sold and it was finishing the remainder of its 2023 season, and then it was not going to continue into 2024 and 2025. In a situation like this, I mean, it sucks. There's no positives, and even someone like myself that has never been to Devils Bowl, I mean, I'm heading there this weekend to run the Shark Racing 1T. Literally, my first impression of the place is going to be its final laps of its life. And still, with me never even going there, and I don't even think you consider Devils Bowl, obviously it's not on the level of a Knoxville and Eldora, at the very top of the country and the world's iconic tracks. But even still, a place like this has a solid spot in the history of winged sprint car racing, dirt racing in Texas, and I have to mention the history books of the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's a quick history lesson. So of course the Outlaws have really been promoting how this is your final opportunity to see the greatest show on dirt at this track. And you could be wondering, why does that matter? The Outlaws go to so many different racetracks. If one closes, how does that even affect them? So you gotta scroll down a little bit, and if you zoom in, check this out. The World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series was born on March 18th, 1978 at the Devils Bowl Speedway. So this racetrack where we're running this weekend hosted the first ever Outlaw event in history. Let's see, 1978. That would put us, that's literally 55 years ago if my math is correct. It reads, it all began with roughly 90 racers from across the country journeying to Mesquite, Texas for a 3-night event, accumulating in a 2,000 to win finale. Now that race was topped by Jimmy Boyd, legendary sprint car driver, and he would be the first winner in the greatest show on dirt's history. So I bring all that up to show how significant this Friday and Saturday is going to be down there. And it's going to be on so many different levels across the board. Of course, for all the drivers, none of us had the opportunity to be that first winner back then, but now we have the opportunity to be the last. They also added to the purse, so it's $20,000 to win on Saturday and just under $2,000 to start. They actually did $1,978 to, symbolize the 1978 and when the series began. And then the main one, I'm sure this weekend there's going to be a lot of sad people in all areas. Of course, the owners, the officials, the staff, the longtime fans that, have been coming to this place since they were a little kid. And I think that's where all this kind of hit me a little harder. Never been to this place before, never seen it, just kind of watched it on Dirt Vision and always saw it as just another place. But when something like this happens, especially to a track that is a little bit more notable, I think, how would I feel if my local track, the Southern Oregon Speedway, all of a sudden out of nowhere was gone? And I have to say, it would probably take me a really long time to get over something like that. And some of you guys can say this sounds stupid, but I could see myself probably at my local track, spending that last bit there, no matter how it ended, and I would definitely probably be crying. I mean, I have so many memories at my local track. Can only imagine what it's like for all these people going in to this weekend, and like I said, the memories as a kid. Maybe you have a memorable win there. Maybe it was your first win. Maybe something special with your family. Whatever it may be, the circumstances, you could go on and on, but, I think that this is definitely something that is becoming more common in our sport, and it's really unfortunate with the times we're kind of in, but I don't know. I mean, you see tracks close here and there and on social, and of course you think about it, but maybe you move on or this and that, but just how this Devils Bowl thing has all been, it's kind of, I feel like, affected me a little bit more, and probably too because I'm getting ready to head there and I'm going to be competing. And so with all that, this is the part where I encourage you, if you have any love for this sport of dirt track racing, we all need to band together and support it and keep the thing alive. And that could be in many different ways. That could be being a fan every weekend and supporting the track by purchasing a general admission ticket. It could be fielding a car that races on track and you drive the thing. Maybe you don't have that much time, but you could be a sponsor for someone that does compete a bunch during the year. Or even down to something smaller of purchasing a streaming service so you can watch it from the comfort of your own home. All of what I just said, and there's more options, you could keep going, but that stuff is what is going to keep dirt racing alive. It's going to help it thrive. I don't mean to sound like I'm preaching or anything like that, but I feel like in times like this when the world, there's so many options for things for people to do, and in some ways I feel like things are better than ever, and in some ways you really wonder what the future of the sport looks like. And this is stuff that I guess I shouldn't say I lose sleep over, but in ways I do. I think about it all the time. And so anyway, kind of how I'll end this, as 2023 wraps up and 2024 is going to be approaching in a hurry, try to get out, support your local racetrack in any way possible, because the worst thing is when one day it could potentially look like this and there's no more of those victory lane celebrations. There's no more of the fans roaring in the grandstands as someone makes a pass. There's no more dirt flying in your beer. There's no more hot dogs being sold at concession stand. There's no more arguments in the pits. Like I said, more than ever lately, it just feels like a lot of tracks look like this, or they're just completely gone. Now, as I'm saying that, this is my backyard track, and yeah, that's that. This thing just doesn't get any love because, well, we're at a time in our life where we wish we could, and one day we will get it back to where it deserves, but right now it just hangs out here, and it served its purpose for that time of life. But anyway, thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Devils Bowl Speedway. Can't wait to be there this weekend. Can't wait to live this all with you awesome fans. And of course, at this point, there's nothing we can really do but show up, have a good time Friday and Saturday, chase a World of Outlaws victory, and send this place off in fashion. Deuces.